We moved to West Bend from Milwaukee when Joey was 5, and his 2 sisters were in their early teens. He grew up here and graduated from West Bend East in 2006 at the age of 19. The summer after graduation, he came to me and said he was having trouble with opiates. He had been using them for a little over a year. I immediately started searching the subject of what opiates were on the internet. In 2006, there wasn't a lot of information. What I found out never led me to think that this was going to be a heroin problem. There was very little useful information. Rehabs were extremely expensive. Help was hard to find. And when it was found, it was out of reach without insurance. Even our family doctor offered very little assistance. I helped detox him at home. I sent him out to his dad in Florida for a week and thought all would be back to normal when he came home. I was not prepared for the next 7 years. And now I'm going to tell you how he ended up in the court system. At the age of 20 in 2007, in Washington County, he was charged with possession of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor U, and possession of paraphernalia. He had second-degree reckless endangerment, which is a felony G. And from what I remember, something went wrong and somebody got pulled in a door or something. They dismissed that, but they read it in for your punishment. He spent 30 days in the county jail and 2 years on probation. Then 4 months later in Washington County, he had possession of amphetamines, that's it, and possession of paraphernalia again, both misdemeanors. He spent 20 days in Huber and 12 months again added on for probation. He did his probation, he filled out his probation, he came out to Palmyra and lived with me and my husband. He did real well for a couple of years. Then in April of 2010, at the age of 23, he had possession of a narcotic drug. He had now advanced into a heroin addiction. He had possession of paraphernalia. The narcotic drug was a felony I. He became a felon at that point at the age of 23. His sentence was 30 days in jail. They gave him probation for 2 years and let him walk out the door with a sentence that was withheld for 405 days, 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days in a state prison, which he didn't have to do. He was going to do the 2 years probation. At the age of 23, he became a felon. I believe if rehab would have been offered at this point, they gave him probation with the scolding, if you come back, you're going to prison. To expect he wasn't coming back was unrealistic. He walked out of court a drug addict, the same as he did walking in. The addiction was never addressed. In 2010, he also had a possession of paraphernalia and bail jumping because he got in trouble before the first case was over. Bail jumping can be a felony. Both those were dropped, but they were read in. November 10th, 2010, Joey was revoked on his probation by his probation officer. He was sent to Black River Falls boot camp. He spent about 8 months altogether in prison. He didn't go in there because the court systems offered it to him, because his probation officer offered it to him. In 2011, he was staying with me and my husband. He took our vehicle without permission. His heroin addiction has gotten to a point that he was on a down spiral. So we called the police. We wanted him arrested because I didn't know what else to do with him. He was killing himself. They didn't arrest him. They charged him. He got another 12 months probation. No offer of help. In June of 2012 now, that's a year later, or not even a year later, he got possession of paraphernalia again. So here he was revoked by his probation officer. He was sent to prison for the 405 days that he had previously, where the sentence was withheld. So now his probation offered him a chance to go out to Chippewa Falls Treatment Facility. He was gone for well over a year. He spent 3 months in Waupun. In Waupun, his cellmates were rapists, murderers, and drug dealers. All this kid ever did was be a drug addict. He never committed a physical crime against anybody. The hardship on the family is tremendous. Jail stints and prison time only serve the family. It gives us a peace of mind. We know where they are, and we know they're not going to die today. For the addict, it causes even more hardship. Every time they are released, they have to start over. They try to get a job as a felon. They don't have a car. They're living with family and friends. Most will burn all the bridges with those family and friends, eventually being homeless sometimes. It becomes a vicious cycle that can only be broken in recovery. Joy came home in 2013, June 12th, from Chippewa Treatment Facility. On July 28th, I found him in his bedroom. He had overdosed. It took 2 Narcan doses to bring him back. He was transported to the ER and released 2 hours later. No further treatment was needed or offered. In September, a letter came in the mail from Jefferson County. They were charging him with possession of narcotic drug, another felony. They didn't find any drugs in his bedroom, but they found a spoon with residue on it. They used this to charge him with another felony of possession. He was facing up to 3.5 years of prison. In June of 2014, all his probation had been satisfied by this time and he was no longer a ward of the court. But he did have this charge looming on him. It took a year for the charge to reach its final court date. His court date was on September 2nd. He never showed. The night he and another person made a run to Milwaukee. Joey shorted the drug dealer $20. A car chase ensued while the drug dealer riddled Joey's car with bullets. One of the bullets hit Joey in the head. He died in the wee hours of the morning of September 3rd, just shy of his 27th birthday. The places a drug addict will go to get his drugs would shock you. You wouldn't believe some of the places they'll go. Doesn't matter where they grew up, what beautiful home they were in, they'll be down in Milwaukee in the core, looking for every piece of drug they can find. My son thought Oxycontin was a fun high. I'm sure heroin addiction was far from his mind. Never thought it would lead to injecting heroin into his veins. The justice system is failing. Putting nonviolent drug addicts into the penal system is not the answer. It's a chemical dependency that has to be addressed. Joey's story shows it just continues and nothing changes. To become a felon solely on the fact that you are addicted to drugs is life-changing for them. Before all this, when I thought of a felon, I thought of dangerous criminals. When they get out of prison, jobs don't come easy. Who wants to hire a felon? Most end up working through temp services, which means they're working with other recovering addicts, people who just got out of prison, which ends with all of them right back on drugs. Manage to make it through the probation, it's also difficult for them, and most end up doing spurts in local jails for violations or get revoked. If they do make it through all these obstacles and want to better themselves through education, that door is shut to them as well. There are no federal grants because the justice system has labeled them criminals, made them felons, when in fact they had a chemical dependency and the only crime they did was to themselves. Education in middle and high schools is the key. We have to reach these kids before the damage starts. Last week, a group of young incarcerated girls came to our Palmyra High School to talk with the kids. That's what needs to be done. Kids need to hear the hard facts from the kids who look just like them. If you have learned one thing in this lecture series, it's to do something. Contact your legislator, ask what's being done to help with the drug addictions. Stop making felons out of sick people. Look on change.org, sign some petitions, and ask your child's principal what programs are they using to educate your children. In 2015, Massachusetts started PERI. It's a police-assisted addiction recovery initiative. An addict can walk into a police station and ask for help. They will not be charged for any crime. They will be transported to the hospital and assisted with recovery. Some states have several, some over 12 individual participating departments. Wisconsin only has 2, Madison and Greenfield. I find that to be a tragedy. Right now, addicts will not walk into the police station and ask for help. They fear prosecution, and it's a fear well-founded. Here in West Bend, there's a major problem, yet they do not participate. Maybe they don't know about it, and maybe it's you need to call them and ask them why they're not participating in that. I ask that you call your local police department and ask why they're not offering the program. Something different has to be tried. Thousands of people are dying, many way too young, and every child growing up today is at risk in the future if it doesn't change now. You cannot plead, you can't bribe, and you can't cry addiction out of them. I know because I've tried. You cannot punish it out of them either. I know because the court system has tried. Thank you.